Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Exodus chapter 9, verses 1 through 5. Then Yahweh said unto Moshe, Go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, Thus says Yahweh, Elohim of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if you refuse to let them go and will hold them, behold, the hand of Yahweh is upon your cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camel, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain, and Yahweh shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. And Yahweh appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow Yahweh shall do this thing in the land.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, Go Down, Moshe.
Oh, yeah. When Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. Oh, press so hard they could not stand. Let my people go.
Go down, Moshe.
Go down.
Thus said Yahweh, oh Moshe said, Let my people go. If not, I'll smite your firstborn dead. Let my people go.
let my people go. Let my people go.
The oracles of the UCI, 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. What the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you up on earth, therefore let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you, to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. Him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
which is peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. Now, as we get closer and closer to the redemption of the children of Israel, we end up coming in contact with a lot of theologians and their ideas. And one of the debates that is being had is that ethnicity and the topic of priesthood is something that has no place when it comes down to salvation. Now, it's very interesting that the more educated one becomes, the less they are able to deal with certain ideas. So we have to ask ourselves, is that education more of an indoctrination more than just being educated in the word? And even at a point, the education of the word is then attacked. So we're going to have to deal with a few things there. When we listen to that beautiful song this morning, Go Down Moshe, that is a particular group of people that he is discussing. So to say that you can take ethnicity out of the entire discussion, the basis of everything starts with a particular ethnic group of people. He didn't go and get everybody out of Egypt. Everybody wasn't in Egypt. Everybody were not slaves. So when we start discussing these things, how we want to remove this is a particular time of suffering for a group of people. Now, if you start trying to erase a period of suffering that belongs to somebody else, they go helter-skelter on you. But somehow they believe that it is okay to remove the history of somebody else's suffering because they know they have no connection to that, or they don't want to have any connection to that, because what's going to happen is eventually they're worried about what may be required of them if they acknowledge it. And to just deal with that part of a specific ethnic group. Now, when the adversary of the devil is completely denied access to heaven, he persecutes the woman that brought forth the man-child. He specifically seeks war with a certain group of people. It is not written that he seeks to war with the earth. So persecution will be highlighted among a designated ethnic body of people. Christian apologetics make claims that ethnicity and the word of Elohim has no business being together. Well, somebody forgot to tell the devil. And just maybe that same somebody forgot to tell the Mashiach as well. Because the testimony concerning them both does not agree with the Christian apologetic rendition of the gospel. Let's begin today's sermon in 1 Peter chapter 2. 1 Peter chapter 2, and we're going to read verses 1 through 12. Now, the first thing you need to understand as we start this, how the New Testament is separated by ethnicity. Because there is a path written. If you read in Romans, you're going to find that it is dealing with the path of the Jews versus the path of the Gentiles. Somehow, Christian apologetics don't see that separation of how that path of salvation is traveled. So they want to take out a part of that. But you'll find that Saul was sent to the Gentiles, or the Apostle Paul, and you're going to find that Peter was the one dealing with the children of Israel, the Jews. So when you start hearing things of priesthood, you're going to notice that you don't hear it come from Paul, because he's dealing with the Gentiles. He has no connection in dealing with the priesthood when it concerns them. You find Peter or Cephas talking about the priesthood. Why? Because he deals with the children of Israel. So automatically, if you don't have a separation between the ethnic background of these people, you are already lost when the gospel starts being delivered, because you think that they are just jumping back and forth. You think that they're all over the place, and you don't understand that one person is talking to this group of people and the other person is talking to this group of people. Then we get further down where there are instances that they're both group of people in the room. So then he has to separate the doctrine based on which group of people he's dealing with in the same room. And if you don't get that, then you're going to be wooed by the fancy talk. Now, it's funny, when we start getting into the education of the word, you will find a lot of Christian apologetics say, okay, if you got too much information, then you must be a Pharisee, because then you go on a level that they can't go. But they, on the other hand, will use education to prove their point until you provide higher education. Now you must be a Pharisee. Now it's interesting how they can use the information and they're not a Pharisee until you top that information. Now you are the Pharisee. And Pharisees are people who were very strict when it came to the law. And Christian apologetics are individuals who want to defend Christianity at all costs. Now, taking education out, this is how you essentially throw somebody's evidence out of court. And if you throw certain evidence out of court, then you have a better chance of winning. So if you can make education a problem and you can throw it out of court, now what are we left with? Feelings. Now, if you go up against people and their primary focus is feelings, you're not going to beat them in a feeling game. The majority of time is spent with praise and worship. Let's translate praise and worship. Feelings. That's what praise and worship means. Now, any man, who's ever had a in-depth discussion with his wife knows that if that whole discussion is based on feelings, he know he ain't winning. He knows he is not winning that discussion because you are not going to outfeel her. So what the apologetics do is we're going to take all knowledge out of the discussion and make it only about feeling, make it about love, make it about these things, and you are destined to lose that battle because education has been thrown out of court. Let's begin in 1 Peter chapter 2, and we're going to read verses 1 through 12.
Wherefore, laying aside all malice, and all guile, and hypocrisies, and envies, and all evil speakings, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. If so be you have tasted that the Adonai is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Elohim and precious. You also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices, acceptable to Elohim by Yahshua HaMashiach.
Now, understand what's happening here. And once again, we're dealing with Peter or Cephas, who is the apostle of the circumcision. So he's dealing with the children of Israel. All right? So he says, you also as lively stones. So there are regular stones that build the temple. He says you are lively stones of the temple. All right? You are built up a spiritual house. All right? There was a natural house that they put all of their time and energy in. He's saying you are the stones of the spiritual house, a holy priesthood. Now, this is the New Testament we're reading. Yet we have so many individuals that have a problem with the priesthood and said that it has been done away with. How is that? This is the New Testament that we're reading that speaks of the priesthood. Our problem is we have been given titles by the powers that be, and they like those titles. See, it sounds better to say apostle. Oh, now you're directed by God. See, we like the term disciple. But we don't understand when we get in this book, you're going to find out the disciples were priests. And Yahshua said it. But we're going to get to that. So then we find sacrifices to offer up spiritual sacrifices, not natural sacrifices. We're not sacrificing animals. What do you think our prayers are for one another? They are spiritual sacrifices. What do you think we are doing when we say, you know what, brother? I heard you had a problem with your car. I'll take you home. What do you think that was? When a brother or sister said, what? There's something that's needed at the house of Elohim, I'll pay for it. I'll come up there and help rake the leaves. I'll come up there and help paint the fence. I'll come up there and help do that. What do you think those are? Those are spiritual sacrifices. So when people tell you that sacrifices are going away, it's because they don't understand. They are too busy trying to deal with the Most High with feelings and throwing away all knowledge. Even when Yahweh said how we supposed to deal with our wives, it's deal with them according to knowledge. I always ask a brother, what you know about her? He comes to the priest, I'm having so many problems. I said, well, what you know about her? Huh? Yeah. That's your problem right there. What you know about her? What you know about that? You don't know nothing about that there? That's why you're having a problem with that there. Okay. Go ahead, priest.
Verse 6, wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believes on him shall not be confounded. Unto you therefore which believe he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and a stone of stumbling, and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word.
Wait a minute. They stumble at the word because they're going to deal with the word according to feeling. Every line, they're looking for an emotional connection. They treat every line of the scripture as if it is some kind of romantic poem. They waiting for the love cliffhanger. Go ahead.
Being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed.
Uh-huh.
But you are a chosen generation,
Uh-huh.
a royal priesthood.
Wait a minute. He's saying some very heavy stuff here. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. That song that the choir just sang, that was a specific group of people who were under that pressure. Yahweh had to go get those people out of captivity. The same thing that he said he's going to have to do again. Now, if a group of people are not in captivity, I have to ask myself, who are those people? Because they can't be the ethnic group of people that is discussed in this book. And understand the difference between slavery and captivity. If you are still being held in that land, you're a captive. If you are being held under servitude, then you're a slave. Just because slavery is over does not mean that your captivity ended. Please don't mistake the two. Okay, go ahead.
But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, an holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who has called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Yeah, our problem is we don't want to be peculiar. We want to be just like everybody else. Let us be like the nations. Everybody trying to be like us, but we trying to be like everybody else. Go ahead.
Which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of Elohim, which had not obtained mercy, would now have obtained mercy. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles.
Stop. Wait a minute. He has said all of this, and then whatever specific group of people he's talking about, we know who they ain't. Gentiles. He just said all of this coming down, and then he says, have your conversation honest among the Gentiles. I mean, he ain't talking to Gentiles. I'm sorry, is that knowledge going to get thrown out of court now? Is that not admissible? Do I not get to talk about that? If it's in the word, why can't we discuss it? Go ahead.
That whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify Elohim in the day of visitation.
Now, those good works were your spiritual sacrifices. You didn't have no altar. You didn't have no baby lambs. We've been offering up spiritual sacrifices. And some sacrifices are bigger than others, and you have no idea. You watch somebody put $5 in that box, that may be the biggest sacrifice of the day because they didn't have a 10. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. But you know, we'll come and put $5 in that box, and then bring a $50 bottle of wine. See, therein lies the difference between Israel and Jacob. And in their mind, I brought $55 to church. No, the hell you didn't. And then they drank almost the whole damn bottle that they brought. Right. Deuteronomy chapter 7, and let's read verses 6 through 14.
For you are an holy people unto Yahweh your Elohim. Yahweh your Elohim has chosen you to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Now, this is where people start running into problems. They start having an issue. What do you mean, above all people? Don't ask me, ask him. What you asking me for? Ask him. You say you talked to him last night. Why you didn't ask him who he was talking about? Keep going.
Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people. But because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, as Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Right. Understand one thing. The punishment for the children of Israel is servitude and captivity. Why? Because Israel was created to be a servant to Yahweh. So you either serve your Elohim or you serve your enemies. So any other so-called punishment that people say they have gotten, if it's not captivity and slavery, then that punishment did not come because of this covenant. I don't care how horrific the event, and I don't question people's horrific event. If you say it happened to you, then go ahead then. My problem is, where is it in this book? Because Yahweh has a specific way of disciplining his people. He said you were created for a purpose, and you're going to serve that purpose, whether you serve that purpose in righteousness or in wickedness. But you are going to serve. Go ahead.
Know therefore that Yahweh your Elohim, he is Elohim, the faithful El, which keeps covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repays them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hates him, he will repay him to his face. You shall therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command you this day to do them.
Right. And the whole part of Christian nationalism that is pushed in this country is a connection to Christianity, but not a connection to the order. He keeps talking about the commandments. You will find all of this talk about belief in the gospel. But when you start mentioning the commandments, the room goes silent. What happened? And to believe that these very educated people don't have understanding of rules is a complete and utter farce. Because these people have joined secret society. They have joined fraternities and sororities. They are riddled with rules. They have nothing but rules. You can't tell me that you've gotten this far in life and do not understand rules, yet you belong to this society. There are rules in that society. And somehow you're okay following all of those rules. Right. Go ahead.
Wherefore it shall come to pass, if you hearken to these judgments and keep and do them, that Yahweh your Elohim shall keep unto you the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto your fathers. And he will love you and bless you and multiply you. He will also bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land, your corn and your wine and your oil, the increase of your kind and the flocks of your sheep, in the land which he swears unto your fathers to give you. You shall be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you or among your cattle.
Right. Now here is what happens if the children of Israel are doing what they are supposed to be doing. But you still have that blessing that sits among the children of Israel, and that they stand out and were made to stand out above all people. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 10. You're gonna find that this is a common theme with Yahweh. Deuteronomy chapter 10, and let's start at verse 12.
And now, Israel, what does Yahweh Elohim require of you? But to fear Yahweh Elohim, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul.
We have been convinced that with all your heart and all your soul just means with a lot of emotion. That's not what that means. All your heart and all your soul means your ability. What are you able to do? Is all you can do is just sit there and cry? Go to church? Is that all you can do? Is that the extent of your heart and soul, is tears? Go ahead.
To keep the commandments of Yahweh and his statutes, which I command you this day for your good. Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is Yahweh's, your Elohim, the earth also, with all that therein is. Only Yahweh had a delight in your fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day.
Wait a minute. Yahweh's talking about a specific group of people. He said Yahweh chose these people above all people. Yet they say, take ethnicity out of the equation. Don't tell me, tell Yahweh. Because he keep doing it. Go ahead.
Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked. For Yahweh Elohim is El of gods, and the Adonai of masters, a great El, a mighty, and a terrible, which regards not persons, nor takes reward. He does execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loves the stranger, in giving him food and raiment.
Wait a minute. So the children of Israel share the attributes of their God, whether they know it or not. They are coerced into doing other things. Keep reading.
Love you therefore the stranger,
Uh-huh.
for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
This should be in the children of Israel automatically. And it is what and how we operate. Strangers have always been able to move in our neighborhood. We have never given other people trouble. You don't find that always going across this land and others. Look at how they treat the stranger. And you have to ask, what attribute is that? Because it don't come from the Elohim of the earth. verse 18 says, he does execute the judgment of the fatherless and the widow and loves the stranger and giving him food and raiment. We find out that that's not how other people act. So when you start talking about this specific ethnic group of people, they share some common traits. But we have been told to look past that. Brother, read the note.
Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
For you are an holy people unto Yahweh your Elohim, and Yahweh has chosen you to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth.
Now, this, if there's a problem or a mistake, then Yahweh made the mistake a lot of times because he keeps saying it. Go to the next one.
Deuteronomy chapter 26, verses 18 through 19. And Yahweh has avouched you this day to be his peculiar people, as he has promised you, and that you should keep all his commandments, and to make you high above all nations which he has made.
So now, a peculiar people above all people, then he goes to the nation, you're going to be above all nations. And you can't figure out why they have a problem with you. You actually believe their propaganda. They tell you they hate you for one reason. That ain't why they hate you. Pause for a second. You have all the children of Israel, and then you got this young boy come up, and his daddy gave him a coat of many colors. What did all the other brothers do? They hated him. Tell me what Joseph did wrong. He did nothing wrong. He was loved of his father, and his brothers hated him for it. All right. But you know, they did blame him. This dreamer coming. Yeah, now tell us what's going to happen of your dreams. So they threw him in the pit, not understanding that throwing him in the pit is going to make the dreams come true. You thought that you were stopping the dream. You were actually forwarding the dream. This is how Yahweh trick you. So when Yahweh keeps saying above all people, why do you think they have a problem with you? They know who you are and what you are. And they have animosity with you. And then we have been tricked to sell off our inheritance. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 8. To make you high above all nations. If a simple coat made all the brothers throw him in a pit and send him into slavery, what does having the favor of Yahweh for generations do to you? If a coat makes somebody throw you in the pit and come back and say, he must have got ate by an animal or something. Is this your son's coat? Yeah, this is your son's coat. Look at all this blood on it. If that does that, what does the repeated favor of Yahweh do to somebody else? And then you know what we do? We go amongst these people who hate our favor with Yahweh and don't understand that they are constantly planning our demise. We think they're friends. We think they're just like us. They ain't nothing like you. And for some reason, you can't see it. 1 Samuel chapter 8. Let's start that at verse 1.
And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, the name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes, and perverted judgment.
Now, it's interesting that the situation didn't turn out for Samuel like it did for Eli. See, a lot of times Yahweh is allowing some things to happen to see what other people are going to do. So Yahweh knows of how his sons are reacting. We don't even know what the interaction was between Samuel and those boys. He didn't even deal with it. Keep reading.
And all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, you are old, and your sons walk not in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
Your sons walk not in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. Here we go again. We want to be like everybody else. Yahweh has made you peculiar and above all nations, a special people unto himself, but you want to be somebody else. Go ahead, priest.
But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people, all that they say unto you. For they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
Look at how Yahweh dealt with it. No. They are not rejecting you. They're rejecting me. So Yahweh must have already saw it in their heart. See, this is that thing that we like to say, well, I did this because of that. Because you did this, this is why I did that. No. Yahweh presented the situation, so they do it. No. I detect a hint of minty freshness. All right, let them boys take some bribes. What you doing? I'm stirring this pot. What did he do? Draw out what was already in there. He knew that was in there. He said, no. They don't have a problem with you. They got a problem with me. So he used that and stirred up the pot with it, and boom, out comes what was already in their heart. Give us a king. This was already in there. Samuel boys didn't put this in there. He used Samuel's boys to draw it out. And then here we go. Every time something is drawn out of us, we say, it's because you did this. No. You lack understanding. Yahweh used that to draw that out of you. It was already in there. Go ahead, Pri.
You know, Elder, when you get into this book, man, it's so beautiful as it continues to open up from week to week, day to day. It's all in verse 7 as we're going through it. You got to see yourself in that as well. Because why did they reject him? So he wouldn't reign over them.
Right.
11 tribes. They are the people.
They even said, shall you reign over us? We have decided that you're not worthy to rule over us. Right. Go ahead.
According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto you. Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them.
Now, this is what happens with us between generations. You have an older generation that tells the youngins, all right, now look here, the way you going is not good.
That's what it was back in your day.
Everybody believes that their generation got the newest stuff.
See, Daddy, you're old. You just don't understand how things happen in today's world.
So they think they got it. So instead of listening to seasoned individuals, see, Yahweh said you season it with salt. This salt ain't in here for no reason. See, this season right here. So you season it with salt. But we don't want to listen to the salt. We go and listen to the pepper. Because, see, they're my friends. All right, go ahead.
And Samuel told all the words of Yahweh unto the people that asked him of a king. And he said, This will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen. And some shall run before his chariots.
Right. You can tell people, all right, if you keep going in this way, this is what's going to happen. No, but I think I got a way around all those things. Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over 50s, and he will set them to air his ground and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariots. And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. And he will take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. And he will take the tenth of your seed and of your vineyards, and give to his officers and to his servants.
Now, if he's taking the 10th, and you are already owe Yahweh a 10th, that's 20% of your stuff gone right off the rip. So now you owe the king a tithe along with the tithe that you owe Yahweh. That means you just got another 10% tax by asking for a king. Go ahead.
And he will take your men servants and your maid servants and your goodliest young men and your asses and put them to his work.
Now, wait a minute. If he's taking 10% and he took your stuff, then he's taking more than 10%. Because now he's taking your ability to get the stuff that you have to pay the 10% with. You should put yourself in a whole different tax bracket. But you didn't go up to get in the tax bracket. See, where it works, if when you make more money, you enter into a greater tax bracket. We're the smartest dumb people on the face of the planet. We then took less and then have a bigger tax bracket. Wait a minute. You made less and he took more? Who did you talk to about signing this paper? Who talked to you about getting into this deal? A bigger tax bracket with less money? The whole part about the bigger tax bracket is because you made more money. You done got yourself in a bigger tax bracket with less money. Brilliant. Go ahead.
And you shall cry out in that day because of your king which you shall have chosen you, and Yahweh will not hear you in that day. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel.
Of course they did.
And they said, no, but we will have a king over us.
Right, that's what happened when you try to explain to people, you know, look, I hear what you're saying, but that don't mean it's going to be that way for me. Oh, okay. All right, Samuel, I don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
That we also may be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us.
There you go. This is our issue, that we may be like the nations. Here it is. Yahweh has made us special and peculiar above all nations, but we trying to turn our light down so we can be like all the nations. See, it's actually scary to be somebody, because that also means that something is expected of you. See, nobody has no requirements. Somebody got some requirements we don't want to be required of. Go ahead.
You know, well, even up to this day, we're still looking for that king to be over us. Because that's what we thought we had in Clinton. And we thought we had that in Obama. But we still striving and struggling for that king to be over us that's going to judge us.
Still looking.
And fight our, and that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles.
That's what we want. Go and fight our battles, because we don't want to fight them ourselves. We want to run from all involvement in the matter. Just handle it and come back to us and tell us how much it costs. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 12.
First Kings chapter 12 and verse 1. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king. And it came to pass, and Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Shlomo, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, that they sent and called him. And Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying.
Now, you see how when there's about to be a situation, this individual had fled from Shlomo. But now Shlomo has passed and his son is getting ready to be set up as king. Now this person is able to return. Go ahead.
Your father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore, make you the grievous service of your father and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve you.
Now, when you look at this, then you start to understand. Now, they asked for a king, and he said, all right, this is the manner of king that was going to be with you. All right, generation and generation goes on. Yahweh had to put Dawid in there. He found a man after his own heart. But now you get the king after him. And he married all these strange wives. He then built temples, houses for all these strange wives. All right, the question then comes, where he get that money? Where that money come from? All right. It says, your father made our yoke grievous. Now, therefore, make you the grievous service of your father, and the heavy yoke which you put upon us lighter, and we will serve you. Wait a minute. He had to be getting that money from the people. Why was it so grievous? Yahweh house been built. Yahweh house been built. What they got grievous service for? No, that was all them other houses that he had to build. He taxed the people for that. They saying, all right, just don't do what your daddy did. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Shlomo his father, while he yet lived, and said, how do you advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, if you will be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be your servants forever.
They will be your servants forever. Go ahead.
But he forsook the counsel of the old man.
See, y'all don't know nothing. See, y'all just old. See, you don't understand. See, I got people by me, and they understand how things go in this day and time. Go ahead.
Which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him.
Yeah, if you're ever a parent, you find yourself at some point telling your kid, you know your friends don't know nothing, right? We go find somebody who is less intelligent than us and ask them an essay question. You do know they know less than you. What you ask them for? Do you understand what your chances of success are by asking somebody who know less than you? But that's what emotion makes you do. You took the education out of your decision and you made your decision all based on emotion. Emotion makes you go to a lesser step to ask a greater question. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, what counsel give you that we may answer this people, who have spoken to me, saying, make the yoke which your father did put upon us lighter? And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, thus shall you speak unto this people that spake unto you, saying, your father made our yoke heavy, but make you it lighter unto us. Thus shall you say unto them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins.
Mm-hmm.
And now, whereas my father did laid you with a heavy yoke, I'll add to your yoke. My father has chastised you with whips, but I'll chastise you with scorpions.
Now, if any man, and I had to tell brothers this in counseling, and they getting into a discussion with their wife, I can go ahead and tell you, if this is the way you answer, go ahead and get you your blanket and go outside. This how you answer that? This how you gonna? I'm gonna whoop you with scorpions. All right, outside you shall go. Go ahead.
So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the third day, as the king had appointed, saying, come to me again the third day. And the king answered the people roughly, and forsook the old man's counsel that they gave him, and spake to them after the counsel of the young man, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, and I'll add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, but I'll chastise you with scorpions.
You have to ask yourself, are we taking the advice of what sounds cooler? Because I will serve you, I will do these things. You know, that don't sound as powerful as I'm going to whoop you with scorpions. And my little finger going to be thicker than my father's loins. Maybe that sounded cool when he heard it. But that sentence is about to divide the kingdom. Go ahead.
Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was from Yahweh.
The cause was from Yahweh. A lot of times people think that their harsh words come from their own heart. No. He made you run off at the mouth so he can go ahead and cause some separation. You know he's got to figure that out after it's over. I always tell people hindsight is 20/20. I always know what I should have done after I didn't do it. He about to figure that out. He about to figure out that he answered this wrong. And then he going to ask himself, why did I say that? Go ahead.
That he might perform his saying, which Yahweh spake by Ahiah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat.
Right, that he might perform his saying. See, he's walking right into some other promises, but all we end up seeing is what is concerning us. See, that's what emotion tell you. Only pay attention to the thing concerning you. Let's go to Exodus chapter 19. And this is how the adversary of the devil get us every time. Just pay attention to the part concerning you. But he said, you're going to be like gods if you eat this. You eat from this tree. Just focus on yourself right now. Don't think about nothing else. Don't think about no family. Don't think about no children of Israel. Just think about you. Okay? You going to be like a God. You going to know the difference between good and evil. You. Right. That's what he want to do. Exodus chapter 19, let's read verses 1 through 6.
In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai, for they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moshe went up unto Elohim, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shall you say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, You have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
Over and over does Yahweh say this. But now we're going to go and deal with that next step. Go ahead.
And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
Wait a minute. You shall be unto me a kingdom of priests. We already have a tribe of priests. We already have a Levitical priesthood. There's already a tribe of priests. He's not saying you shall be a tribe of priests. We already got that. You shall now be a kingdom of priests. So Yahweh was already going to magnify the priesthood from the beginning. But now you have in Christendom where they're telling everybody the priesthood is thrown away. He was magnifying the priesthood at the very beginning. This was not something that just happened later on down the line. And he was already talking about magnifying the priesthood among those same people. Go ahead.
And in holy nation, these are the words which you shall speak unto the children of Israel.
All right. These are the words that you shall speak unto the children of Israel. Now let's go to Revelation chapter 5. Revelation chapter 5, and let's start that at verse 1.
And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the book, and to loose the seals thereof? And no man in heaven, nor on earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders says unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Yehudah, the root of David, has prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
Now, you have to look at this and really look at it in a certain way. The first time I saw anything with the Lion of the tribe of Judah, it was always Jamaicans. You didn't see nobody else walking around with the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Then I ran into Hebrews, and then I started seeing Hebrews with the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Now, all of a sudden, now Christian apologetics are showing up with Lion of the tribe of Judah shirts. Now, I have a problem because you want to take ethnicity out of it. Do you understand that that is a particular ethnic tribe that he's discussing? He is the Lion out of the tribe of Judah. How do you separate ethnicity but then say that you all about the Lion of the tribe of Judah? How you do that? Go ahead.
And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne, and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of Elohim sent forth into all the earth.
So they recognize that this is Christ, that Christ is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Now, what's interesting is they will accept the kingly part of Christ, but not accept the priestly part of Christ. He is able to be king, but he's not allowed to be priest. He was made after the order of Melchizedek, who is king and priest. How can he be one without the other? So they will accept now the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So we accept the crown. Keep reading.
And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of saints. And they sung a new song, saying, You are worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for you was slain, and has redeemed us to Elohim by your blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and has made us unto our Elohim kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Now, wait a minute. So you accept the Lion of the tribe of Judah in verse 5, but don't accept that same ethnic group of people have been made kings and priests in verse 10? So you're okay with 5, but you got a problem with 10? Now I think I understand why they read one verse at a time. I think I'm beginning to understand why you can cherry pick the scripture. Just pick this one, and we're going to talk about this one for 2 hours. So you can deal with 5 and throw away 10 as long as you don't read 10. And having grown up in Christendom, I can honestly tell you, I don't remember ever reading a whole chapter of anything. There is an issue. That is a serious issue. Let's go to Romans chapter 11. Now, we have a problem once we start getting into wanting to understand our Elohim. If it says, I worship him in truth and in spirit, and we want to understand his spirit that we may be able to love him accurately, all of a sudden now you're being labeled as a Pharisee. But yet those same individuals go home and talk about how they love and cherish their spouse. How you do that? Oh, you learned things about them. Oh, you learned about their past. Oh, you learned about their trials, their tribulations, their triumphs. Oh, you learned all of those things. Interesting. Now, this book says that our Elohim is a very jealous Elohim. Oh, so you'll put all that time into trying to figure out your natural situationship? But you won't do that for your Elohim? Okay. Go ahead, brother. Romans chapter 11, I want you to start with verses 1 and 2.
I say then, has Elohim cast away his people? Elohim forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Now, this bothers a lot of defenders of Christianity that you can clearly go in the New Testament and read about Israelites. Yet, they give a very tarnished view of what an Israelite is. And of course, they're going to stay with the people that you see marching around buildings and chanting and stuff like that. So they like to stay in that mode. But they clearly have an issue with that. Go ahead.
Elohim has not cast away his people which he foreknew. Know you not what the scripture says of Elias, how he makes intercession to Elohim against Israel, saying...
So check this out. It says Elohim has not cast away his people. So when we talk about has Elohim cast away his people, he said, Elohim forbid, I also am an Israelite. So then wait a minute. The majority writer of the New Testament is proclaiming that he's an Israelite. Why didn't he say he's a Christian? Why didn't he say he's a Christian? We have to ask the Christian apologetics these questions. Why didn't he say, I am a Christian? He had perfect opportunity. The book is called Romans. Yet he says, I'm an Israelite. Okay. Jump to verse 11 for me.
I say then, if they stumble that they should fall, Elohim forbid. But rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy.
Wait a minute, then you're dealing with two different ethnic groups of people. He has now separated the Israelites from the Gentiles. What have our people done? Because they were then bought by the Gentiles, given Christian names, now our people are walking around talking about their Gentiles. You don't get purchased by something and become what purchased you. Go ahead.
Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness?
He keeps separating the Israelites from the Gentiles. Yet, they keep telling you, if you keep putting ethnicity into your salvation, you have a problem. If you don't put it in, I can tell you, you have a problem. Because I clearly read the difference here. Go ahead.
For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the
Did
Gentiles.
he just say who he was talking to?
Mm-hmm.
Did he just say who he was talking to? Now, he says I'm an Israelite, but I'm talking to you Gentiles. Well, if you know you're an Israelite, then you turn your hearing aid off right now. What, he said what? He said, I'm talking to you Gentiles. Oh, okay, I just made sure you weren't talking to me. You talking to them? Oh, okay. All right, all right. Well, this means nothing for me then. But you know what? I'm going to listen. But I ain't going to follow. I'm going to listen so I understand. But I know who you're talking to now. See? Go ahead.
You know, he also let them know who was talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Israelite of Abraham, and let you know what tribe I'm from.
Right. You can't get no deeper than that. He went down through his lineage. I am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. Wait a minute, they all Israelites there. So now we're talking about the entire group is a group of ethnic people in the same. Yet they tell you it has no place in salvation. They're trying to talk you out your life. Go ahead.
I magnify mine office. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh.
Wait a minute, them that which are my flesh. Okay? Of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin, or of the Israelites in general. Those are my flesh. But I'm talking to you Gentiles. That's what he done did said. I ain't said it. He said it. Go ahead.
It might save some of them. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world.
If the casting away of them, who's them? Israel. Those that are his flesh. So Israel has been made to suffer for the salvation of the Gentiles. You think they ain't going to get rewarded for that? Go ahead.
What shall the receiving of them be? But life from the dead.
Resurrection. Go ahead. Was that it?
Yes.
All right. So let's go to Philippians chapter 3. Philippians chapter 3. And let's read verses 1 through 11.
Finally, my brethren, rejoice in the adnate. To write the same things to you, to me indeed is not grievous, but for you it is safe. Beware of dogs, beware of evil workers, beware of the concision. For we are the circumcision which worship Elohim in the spirit, and rejoice in the Mashiach Yahshua, and have no confidence in the flesh.
Wait a minute. Verse 3, for we are the circumcision. Now, when he says we are the circumcision, he's saying we are the children of Israel. We are the Jews. Okay? We are the circumcision which worship the Elohim in the spirit. They're going to tell you that if you say you're an Israelite, you must worship in the flesh. He's saying the exact opposite. Go ahead.
Though I might also have confidence in the flesh, if any other man thinks that he has whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more. Circumcised the 8th day, of the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of Hebrews, as touching the law, a Pharisee.
Now, wait a minute. So he's telling you his background. What people like to do is then nail him to this and say, oh, he's a Pharisee. No, he was a Pharisee, which means he was taught by a doctor of the law. This is why he was persecuting the church, because he didn't believe in Yahshua. That's why Yahshua had to come to him and say, why do you persecute me? And once he got his vision, boom, dropped everything. Tell me what you want me to do. So people get stuck and say he was a Pharisee and he was all about the law. That's how he was raised. Every last one of them before Christ was all about the law. They were all raised that way. He was just in the most strict sect of them. But when Yahshua came along, he changed his path. Go ahead.
Concerning zeal, persecuting the church, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless. For what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for the Mashiach. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of the Mashiach Yahshua, my Adonai, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win the Mashiach.
I have suffered the loss of all things, spiritual sacrifices. He don't need no animals and an altar to offer up sacrifices. He's offering up those sacrifices and doing those works. Go ahead.
And be found in him, not having mine own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through the faith of the Mashiach, the righteousness which is of Elohim by faith. That I may know him, and the power of his resurrection, and the fellowship of his sufferings, being made conformable unto his death,
Uh-huh.
if by any means I might attain unto the resurrection of the dead. Not as though I had already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of the Mashiach Yahshua.
Right. I says not that we were already perfect. And these are the things that people will try to throw on you. Once you start going on a higher level, they then say, well, you're not perfect. Well, understand what this book says. It says the high priest went in once a year to first offer up sins, sacrifices for his own sins, and then for the sins of the people. If he were perfect, he wouldn't have to go in there to make the sacrifice for his own sin. Right. Okay. Let's go to Matthew chapter 12. They better play with somebody else. My God ain't it. Matthew chapter 12, and we're going to read verses 1 through 8.
At that time Yahshua went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were an hungered, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat.
Now, we like this term disciples. We don't like the term priests. But we like the way disciples sound. We like disciple, we like apostle. There's certain words that we like. They're key words. And we've been taught to like certain words. Go ahead.
But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, your disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. But he said unto them, Have you not read what Dawid did when he was an hungered, and they that were with him? How he entered into the house of Elohim, and did eat the showbread, which is not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests?
But only for the priests. So he's giving this, and then at the end of this, he's ending with the priests. Now keep going.
Or have you not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless?
Now he goes again and mentions priests. They how on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are held blameless. Why? They are working and they pick up offering, which means they're working and they get paid. So the whole weight of the Sabbath is different for the priests than it is for normal people. Go ahead.
But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple.
Wait a minute. If there's one greater than the temple, and he has specifically a group of people following him, what do you think he just told them? Those are priests. He gave his whole example. Do you understand what the priests do on the Sabbath day? These people are following him teaching. They say, you can't pick this corn on the Sabbath. Say, man, I'm working. I ain't resting. And you have to understand how laborious that work had to be. They got to walk or ride a slow donkey going from place to place. We so-called went on a horseback ride. It was a horseback walk. And most of us was so after the horseback walk. Now imagine going 50 or 60 miles with something that's doing this here. Our trip here is easy. Some of us have 100 horsepower. A donkey ain't even 1 horsepower. You got 0.5 horsepower. You got to leave yesterday to get here today. That was work. And then they gonna go work. Yeah, they gonna get hungry. And they're not in one set place. They're moving. Go ahead.
But if you had known what this means, I'll have mercy and not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the guiltless.
You would not have condemned the guiltless. You don't understand. Go ahead.
For the Son of Man is Adonai, even of the Sabbath day.
All right. So that's a pretty strong statement. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 9. Now, we will accept certain things. What we hear or what the Christian apologetics are going to come at you with is the Pharisees questioning the Sabbath. They then use that statement to disallow the Sabbath. Like, we don't have to keep the Sabbath because of this conversation. Yeshua had the perfect opportunity to say that the Sabbath was going to be nailed to the cross. He in no way, shape, fashion, or form said anything against the Sabbath. What he said is they have the right to do these things on the Sabbath because the disciples are indeed priests. But that's not how it's going to be said to you. And if you don't stop it, they're going to use that verse to throw away the Sabbath. Hebrews chapter 9, and let's start that at verse 11.
With Yeshua being coming high priest of good things to come.
I'm sorry, wait a minute. I ain't even got there yet. But here, what?
High priest.
Wait a minute. So we'll accept the Lion of the tribe of Judah as a king. But we have a problem when the New Testament says that he's the high priest. How can the priesthood be done away with if he is the high priest? We have a problem here. See, this is when, once you go on this level of knowledge, now you must be a Pharisee. Now, this is my heart saying, I'm going to love him with all my heart, all my mind, all my soul. My ability is in this. Go ahead.
With Yeshua being coming high priest of good things to come, by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building, neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered in once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us.
So he still went into up to the altar in heaven and anointed it with his own blood. The same thing that a carnal priest would have done in the Holy of Holies. Go ahead.
For if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of an heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctifies to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Yeshua, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to Elohim, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living El? And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance.
Now, what's funny is Christendom will accept that he's the mediator of the New Testament. What they don't understand within education and understanding, how is he able to do that? Only the high priest can go into the holies of holies and anoint the altar with the blood that makes atonement for the children of Israel. He only could be the high priest. That's the only one who can go in and do that. How are you going to accept him as the Lion of the tribe of Judah, but won't accept him as a high priest? Only the high priest gets to go in. Go ahead.
For where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator. For testament is of force after men are dead. Otherwise, it is of no strength at all while the testator lives. Whereupon, neither the first testament was dedicated without blood. For when Moshe had spoken every precept to all the people according to the law, he took the blood of calves and of goats with water and scarlet wool and hyssop and sprinkled both the book and all the people, saying, This is the blood of the testament which Elohim has enjoined unto you. Moreover, he sprinkled with blood both the tabernacle and all the vessels of the ministry. And almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without shedding of blood is no remission. It was therefore necessary that the patterns of things in the heavens should be purified with these, but the heavenly things themselves with better sacrifices than these.
With better sacrifices than these. Christ said, this is my blood. and he gave the wine. What do people do to make themselves seem more righteous? They offer grape juice. They didn't have a communion with a leavened cracker. The whole part is to be unleavened, and then the wine. They have a leavened cracker and then grape juice. So you got fake body and fake blood. And he supposed to accept that? And then when we mention, hey, that's not according to as it is written, now you're not operating in faith. Does faith have no understanding? It is my faith that causes me to want to understand. Go ahead.
For Yahshua is not entered into the holy places made with hands, which are the figures of the true, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of Elohim for us. Nor yet that he should offer himself often, as the high priest enters into the holy place every year with blood of others. For then must he often have suffered since the foundation of the world. But now once in the end of the world has he appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself.
Right. If it was normal, if it was a regular man who committed sin, then he would have to do this every year. How is it that we can accept the king? Once again, listen to our people. Let us be like all the other nations and give us a king. So now it's becoming a fun thing to walk around with the Lion of the tribe of Judah shirt, because we will accept him as a king. But we don't want to accept him as a priest, because then that means we're going to have to follow order. Right. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. That's cute. That's cute. Let's go to Revelation chapter 21. Yeah, that's cute. I see what you're doing. Revelation chapter 21, and let's start at verse 9.
And there came unto me one of the seven angels which had the seven vials full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show you the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the spirit of a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from Elohim, having the glory of Elohim, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Wait a minute. So then we have this magnification of heaven that is pushed in Christendom. The setup of heaven has ethnic foundation. Those 12 gates come from 12 sons and one man who brought forth this family of individuals. So to think that you can deal with heaven and separate ethnicity, you really don't understand the subject matter. This is what happens when we go to a place and don't even know where we're going. Where you going? I'm going to get to heaven. Oh, yeah? I'm going to get to the pearly gates. How many is it? One? You ain't understand where you talking about you going. Did you even GPS the place before you got ready to go? In the other place, we try to get some directions on how to get there. We don't just say, you know what, babe, I'm going to take you to Disney World. Oh, yeah? All right, well, let's go. How we going to go? Well, just get on the highway and drive until we find it. What? Did you find out that they have tickets? What, you got to pay? Yeah, I can tell you where you ain't going. Okay. You say you're going to a place, but you have no understanding of the place that you say you're going? You have no understanding of how it's made? You have no understanding of its foundation? Go ahead, priest.
On the east 3 great gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
Wait a minute. Now, these 12 apostles were then also the representation of the 12 tribes. The 12 tribes are then those 12 sons. We have the foundation, the same foundation is being laid. Now, because he then opens the door unto all the other nations, does not mean the foundation has no ethnicity. Go ahead.
And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof.
Keep going.
And the city lies 4 and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third a chalcedony, the fourth an emerald.
Now, you know what's funny? We know all the parts about the gold and the jewels. That is hilarious. That we reject the foundation, but accept all the gold and jewels. Boy, ain't we a piece of work. Go ahead.
The fifth, sardonyx, the sixth, sardius, the seventh, chrysolite, the eighth, beryl, the ninth, a topaz, the 10th, a crispurus, the 11th, a jacinth, the 12th, an amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every
How many gates?
12.
If they got 12 gates, based on the 12 tribes, the foundation of heaven has a clear connection with the base of the whole family of Israel. You have people that say they're going to heaven and they're going to get to the pearly gates. They keep mentioning one gate. And then to tell you, oh no, you acting like a Pharisee, because I know it's more than one gate. I'm a Pharisee because I know it's more than one gate. Go ahead, Bree.
Every several gate was of one pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass.
All right, let's go to Genesis chapter 32. You know, the first thing we want to do when we have a problem is we want to go to somebody who has knowledge that can fix our problem. Let me tell you something, man. When your toilet back up, let me tell you something, bro. You're not talking to your mechanic. Hey, man, I need to talk to somebody who know how to get this muck and grime from flowing on my floor. All right? I don't want to hear about my alternator. I don't want to hear about how my tires need aligning. What I need to know, who's going to stop this toilet from throwing up? Do you have knowledge of this? I don't need to be loved. I don't need you to sing me a song. I don't need you to make me feel warm and cozy inside. What I need you to do is make my toilet flush. This is what I need. I don't need love and affection. I need knowledge and know-how of how to fix this problem. When a person has a dis-ease in their body, they need somebody that has knowledge about that issue. Okay. let's go and find out about this foundation here. Genesis chapter 32 and started at verse 22.
And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford Jabbok.
Now, we already have a problem in Christendom right now because the foundation that's being set in heaven is being set by a man who has 2 wives and 2 women servants. Now we're about to find out what these 12 pearly gates are set upon. So you got people who want to go somewhere, but have a problem with the way in which the somewhere was built. Go ahead.
And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over that he had. Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day.
Uh-huh.
And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaks. And he said, I will not let you go, except you bless me. And he said unto him, what is your name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, your name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince have you power with Elohim and with men, and have prevailed.
So this man is now given the holy name of Israel by an angel who was not able to get away from him. This is the kind of strength that Yahweh gave unto this man. Understand now, while this is happening, Yaakov is at the scariest point of his life. We always get to the meat of the matter because we want to get to the highlights. We like, give us the cliff notes. Okay, so we like the part where he's strong enough to wrestle the angel. And the angel has to bless him. He said, you ain't getting away from me. What we don't understand is this is the most turbulent part of his life. He is afraid that he's about to get killed. He's afraid that his entire family is about to be wiped out. He is absolutely traveling in fear. This is why a man with 2 wives, 2 women servants, meaning he has 4 wives, 11 kids, is still somehow by himself. Let me tell you something. You get 4 wives and 11 kids, you ain't never going to be by your damn self. You got to sneak a long time. You got to tiptoe and make sure, oh, you up? No, I'm not up. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm Mills. Okay? So he is alone so that he can wrestle with an angel. In the most tumultuous time of his life is when his blessing comes. Y'all ain't listening. Go ahead, priest.
Not only was it tumultuous, he gets injured in the middle of this.
A forever injury. That limp don't go away. Right. Let's go to Matthew chapter 25. We want our blessing, but we want everything to be going right. That we want everything. We won't be walking down the street of gold and then diamonds fall out the sky. Look at these diamonds. They just fell and they hit the street of gold. Ain't I blessed? Right. This man is absolutely afraid. His brother is coming to meet him with soldiers. He is in fear of his life. All right? Pay attention how Yahweh deals. Some of you were this close to running away from your biggest blessing because you got scared. He ain't coming to you in your convenience. That is not how he gonna deal with you. He's gonna stir up the entire pot. Matthew chapter 25, let's read verses 1 through 13.
Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps, and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom comes.
Mm-hmm.
Go you out to meet him.
Uh-huh.
Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps.
See, the bridegroom is very intelligent. The bridegroom operates in intelligence, not out of emotion. See, emotion says, oh, there's 10 virgins ready for the wedding. Intelligence said, don't run down now. Go ahead.
And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
Uh-huh.
But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go you rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves.
Right. Do the wise have enough strength in them to not allow this spirit to be given away? Do you even know when you're giving your spirit away? Do understand that the adversary, the devil, is not just going to come up and ask you, can he borrow it? He's going to find a way to make you feel obligated to give it to him. Go ahead.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins.
Also,
saying,
the other virgins. See, the foolish are the others. See, you have the bridegroom dealing in wisdom, and then you have the wise virgins who are dealing in wisdom. They're not dealing in emotion. You know what happened with most people when they get married? The whole thing is emotion. This marriage is wisdom all the way around. Most folks spend, a $1,000,000 for a wedding. And the whole thing is, I want everybody to come and see me on my day. I'm going to feel so much emotion. And they spend all their money for emotion. When they could have said, you know what, everybody bring me a little gift. We're going to take this money and we're going to put this down on the house. And then y'all can come and have wine with me at the wedding feast. But no, we start off the marriage in debt because we done borrowed money because somebody done paid for this extravagant dealing here. This is why your parents be so pissed off when they get divorced. What the hell you mean y'all getting divorced? I spent $200,000 on that. You better go back in there and make it right. We have irreconcilable difference. Somebody better reconcile the difference in my checkbook. I spent all this money. You gonna tell me y'all getting a divorce? Somebody better come up with my money. Divorce that. Right. We'd have spent that money and got a house, then at least you'd have something to divide. Go ahead, Pri.
Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Adonai, Adonai, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily, say I unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man comes.
Right. He says, I know you not. Not I don't know you anymore. I don't know you. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 23. And it was him operating in this wisdom that declared how these things were going to be done. Said, oh, no. He's not just going to run down there. Let's wait. See, sometimes things don't happen on time for Yahweh's purpose. And sometimes we just Negro late because we ain't prepared. Please don't get your Negro late mixed up with Yahweh operating in the spirit. Folks ain't got ready and say, you know, it was Yah's will. No, the hell it wasn't. That was your will. Don't do that. Don't do that. Ezekiel 23, let's start at verse 1.
The word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, there were 2 women, the daughters of one mother. And they committed whoredoms in Egypt. They committed whoredoms in their youth. There were their breasts pressed, and there they bruised the teats of their virginity.
Mm-hmm.
And the names of them were Aholah and the elder, and Aholibah her sister. And they were mine.
Wait a minute. The 2 women from one mother, they both were mine. Wait a minute. Now, when we go back to the situation of Yaakov, Yahweh was orchestrating to make sure that he married those 2 sisters. That was not his intention. Yahweh was making him live out the entire plight of Israel without telling him. But you know, when we read it, we all see one thing. We don't see that Yahweh's making them play his life. This is his script. And he said, who gonna play me? I need somebody to play me. This is his script. He wrote the story. And he said, you gonna play me. Why do you think then they are a special group of people above all people? Because he found a man to portray him in his script. Go ahead, Bree.
And they bare sons and daughters. Thus were their names. Samaria is Aholah, and Jerusalem Aholibah. And Aholah played the harlot when she was mine, and she doted on her lovers, on the Assyrians, her neighbors, which were clothed with blue, captains and rulers, all of them desirable young men, horsemen riding upon horses. Thus she committed her whoredoms with them, with all them that were the chosen men of Assyria, and with all on whom she doted. With all their idols she defiled herself. Neither left she her whoredoms brought from Egypt, for in her youth they lay with her, and they bruised the breast of her virginity, and poured their whoredom upon her. Wherefore I have delivered her into the hand of her lovers, into the hand of the Assyrians, upon whom she doted.
Right, and that's what Yahweh does. He says, all right, these are the people that you're going to give all your time, your energy, and your money. Those are the people who I'm going to give you into their hands, and watch how they treat you. Go ahead.
These discovered her nakedness. They took her sons and her daughters, and slew her with the sword.
But these are the ones that she loved, though. Go ahead.
And she became famous among women, for they had executed judgment upon her. And when her sister Aholibah saw this, she was more corrupt in her inordinate love than she, and in her whoredoms more than her sister in her whoredoms.
All right. So then we find out that Yahweh is not just dealing with a specific ethnic group for no reason. He found someone to portray him. And somehow we're just not getting that. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 32. But how is it that we don't get it? We say we love him. Don't you want to understand your love? Or are these just empty words of things that we say? We say we got love, but we won't obey. Right. Deuteronomy chapter 32, and let's read verses 26 through 36.
I said, I'd scatter them into the corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
What do y'all think we're dealing with? I will make the remembrance of them to cease before men. This is why other people can come up and say they you. And you show up and say you somebody else. Go ahead.
Were it not that I feared the anger of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hand is high, and Yahweh has not done all this. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this.
Wait a minute. Oh, that they were wise. He says, love me with your whole heart. But to love with your whole heart, there has to be some understanding. Go ahead.
that they would consider their latter end. How should one chase 8,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sold them, and Yahweh had shut them up? For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. For their vine is of the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of dragons, and the cruel venom of asps. Is not this laid up in the stone with me, and sealed up among my treasures? To me belongs vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time. For the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. For Yahweh shall judge his people and repent himself for his servants, when he sees that their power is gone, and there is none shut up or left.
Now, when he sees that their power is gone, he shall judge his people and repent himself for his servants. We don't exactly know what we're running from. Here it is, Yahweh is trying to deliver us, but we don't like the way in which the deliverer operates. Let's go to Psalm chapter 83. You know, we go into other organizations, and they have a way that they operate, and we abide by every part of it. We go in the hospital, and they said, well, to do that, you got to pull out your ID, let us scan it. You go into the whole government database. You got to do that just to go into the hospital. We follow every bit of it. Then when it comes time to deal in Yahweh's word, we have so many stipulations. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this and that. But he watches what we do in our day-to-day. And then he's going to present us with something. And you don't know that he just tried you. Because he knows the difference in how you reacted with these individuals and how you reacted with his servants. Go ahead, Priest.
Keep not you silence, O Elohim, hold not your peace, and be not still, O Elohim. For, lo, your enemies make a tumult, and they that hate you have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people, and consulted against your hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right. And if you can get our own people to say these things, then the nations don't have to keep pushing it. It becomes a self-fulfilling cycle. Teach our leaders, and our leaders will then teach us. Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against you. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot.
Wait a minute. They done helped the children of Lot. All of these people are confederate against the children of Israel? Go ahead.
You got to think about Lot's been there from the foundation.
And Yahweh was also trying to separate Lot from the foundation too. Go ahead.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Caesarea, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kishon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Urab, and like Zeb, yes, all their princes as Zebah and as Zalmona, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Elohim in possession. O my Elohim, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind.
Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Elohim in possession. Right. Are we even witnessing what's happening right now? Go ahead.
As the fire burns a wood, and as the flame sets the mountains on fire, so persecute them with your tempest, and make them afraid with your storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek your name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yes, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that you, whose name also is Yahweh, are the Most High over all the earth.
All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, and I want you to read just a few verses out of here, because I ended up watching a program where an individual was speaking about Israelites, and the person was very intelligent, but when it got time to mention why the Israelites say who they are, the individual said Deuteronomy 18 instead of Deuteronomy 28, and I think he did it on purpose, because I have a hard time believing that you have that much intelligence and then you didn't know this one. You can quote all of these scriptures, but then when it came down to saying something about Israelites, you purposely misstate the scripture. Because here's the thing, if you're talking to a lot of other individuals of Christendom and you mention Deuteronomy 18, they go to it and they say, I don't understand what they're talking about. So was the wrong scripture given on purpose? So I want to go into Deuteronomy 28, and I want you to start at verse 26 for me.
And your carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away.
Right. So when you deal with this, you can't find one group of people other than us who have collectively gone through the situation of being hung and then left out there for animals to pick their skin. So one thing that the defenders of Christianity say, will prove to us that this is you. Like they want DNA samples. Now understand, now these people look just like me, but they say they want DNA samples to prove that you or we are indeed Israel. Don't they know that you can't just readily go and get DNA samples in the land of Israel? It is highly guarded. But then they ask you to produce something. So, where is your belief in Christ? Must he produce a blood sample for you? We didn't ask for a blood sample when we went and bought the Lion of the Judah shirt. I want you to jump to verse 32.
Your sons and your daughters shall be given unto another people, and your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in your hand.
So then what we have to do is then start looking amongst all of our secular history that we know and find a group of people who fits these things. Because if we look over in what's in the land of Israel, neither the people whose land has been stolen or the occupiers of the land, neither of them have experienced what's in Deuteronomy 28. Jump to verse 41.
You shall beget sons and daughters, but you shall not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
This has not happened to any of the people that reside in that land. Jump to verse 48.
Therefore shall you serve your enemies which Yahweh shall send against you, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck until he have destroyed you.
This has not happened to any of the people who reside in the land, not the ones whose land is being stolen or the one who's stealing it. But they say, prove that this is you. You know, you can't prove something to somebody who don't want to believe it. It doesn't matter what evidence you present. They have decided that they are not going to hear your testimony. We can still find these pictures with the yoke of iron. We know no other nation went through these things. Keep reading.
Yahweh shall bring a nation against you from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies.
Wait a minute. Rome symbol is an eagle, and America's symbol is an eagle. What else you need? See, this is where we have education, but we decide we're going to turn it off because emotionally we want to be connected to something else. Why? Because it's easier. All you have to do is vocalize things with your mouth. You don't have to follow anything or do anything. Go ahead.
A nation whose language you shall not understand.
Did we understand this language when they got here? So then when you hear these people who say, I have spoken Hebrew for generations, congratulations. We just know this is not you. And please stop letting people tell you that the language that is spoken is Hebrew. That is not what that is. Please stop letting people tell you that. Go ahead.
You know, Elder, as you look at this, and it says language you shall not understand. And we know some of our people spoke Roman. We just read about him being down in Rome. So we know he spoke that language.
Yeah, they said, can you speak Greek? There's a reason they picked Saul. Saul had dual citizenship. He was born abroad. So he could go to all of these places. He knew he couldn't send nobody like Cephas to go there. Cephas wasn't going to be there. He'd be done burnt up all the Gentiles. He wasn't going to do nothing. No. He was suited for the job of dealing with the Jews. Cephas was not suited to deal with the Gentiles. Saul was. Because the Gentiles are going to ask you some specific education questions. Understand? Cephas wasn't educated like that. These were rough fishermen, most of these men. Okay? And Yahweh knew what he needed for Israel. You need somebody that's going to hit one of these knuckles upside the head. And when you go to the Gentiles, you're going to have to hit them with some knowledge. Because they finna ask you some questions. He knew the difference in what he needed. Go ahead.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of your cattle and the fruit of your land until you be destroyed, which also shall not leave you either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of your kind, or flocks of your sheep, until he have destroyed you.
All right. Jump to verse 61.
Also every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahweh bring upon you until you be destroyed.
You have to look at our physical condition here. Their land goes against us. We are people made with melanin. Melanin automatically blocks the sun. We are made to be in an area with lots of sun. They are now spraying that blocks the sun. Do you understand that that in itself is already harming you? Some people get cancer for being in too much sun. We'll get it because we ain't been in it enough. Go ahead.
You know, a lot of times last week I kept hearing, man, I hate the cold. Me included, because this ain't where we're supposed to be.
Right. Right.
Verse 62. And you should be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for multitude.
They have a word for it. They said they call you a minority. Now you find other people want to get in on the minority. Now they have all the money, but then they putting out commercials. We're a minority. We're the biggest minority. So you the most and the least? That deep right now. Go ahead.
Because you would not obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim. And it shall come to pass that as Yahweh rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And you shall be plucked up from off the land whither you go to possess it. And Yahweh shall scatter you among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other end.
Wait a minute. He shall scatter you. So thinking that you're going to find the children of Israel in one place, you're not dealing with this with understanding. There's more of our people in South America than it is here. You're not going to go and find the children of Israel in one place. This is part of the punishment. Because if he sent us all to one place, we would no doubt take that place over. He knew he couldn't even punish us like that. One of the ways you punish certain groups of people is you separate them. What he said, Simeon and Levi don't know. Y'all stay away from each other. When y'all get together, people just die. Yahweh knew better. He put all us together. That's our country. Go ahead.
And there you shall serve other gods, which neither you nor your fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Right. Wood is Christianity. That's the cross. Stone is Islam. Their holiest site is the dome of the rock, the asteroid that fell from heaven. These are the biggest two religions that have our people. We still need DNA. Let those that have ears to hear, let them hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. Go ahead.
And among these nations shall you find no ease, neither shall the sole of your foot have rest. But Yahweh shall give you there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And your life shall hang in doubt before you. And you shall fare day and night, and shall have non-assurance of your life. In the morning you shall say, would Elohim it were evening. And at evening you shall say, would Elohim it were morning. For the fare of your heart wherewith you shall fare, and for the sight of your eyes which you shall see. And Yahweh shall bring you into Egypt again with ships.
There is so much debate about this one verse that everybody wants to debunk it. Everybody wants to deal with this. And Yahweh shall bring you into Egypt. Egypt was what? Bondage and slavery. And he says, I'm going to bring you into slavery again. That means this is the same people who were already in slavery before. So if anybody tell me that they were once slaves, I said, fine, but you need to provide at least two. Because he said again. So even if you claim that was you, understand, Yahweh said it's going to be in naked and in thirst. Now, how many Gentiles you know can be out in the blazing sun without clothing on day by day? Maybe first day. But slavery got to be over by Wednesday. That's not going to work. Okay. What it say in Song of Solomon? I have been made to tend the vineyard, so I am black, but calmly. Why am I black? For the sun has looked upon me. Who the only people that get blacker by the sun? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Right. So if a group of people cannot present to me where they were scattered, not on their own, and that they were sold, I can tell you who they are not. I can't tell you who they are, but I can tell you who they are not. They are not the people of this covenant. Because this is a specific ethnic group of individuals who have gone through this. Brother, I want you to read on the next graphic there. Read Isaiah 44 and verse 5 for me.
One shall say, I am Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
And another shall call himself by the name of Jacob.
Uh-huh. Wait a minute. The name of Jacob, the name whereby the individual had to wrestle and then was given a holy name. Go ahead.
And another shall subscribe with his hand unto Yahweh and surname himself by the name of Israel.
And we have to ask ourselves, why would that even be necessary? Because if we go back to the very thing that we read before, if those people have been scattered to the four corners of the globe, guess what? They have names that represent the people who purchased them, not the name of the Elohim whom they serve. So once they come out of that gross darkness, they then begin to name themselves according to their Creator. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 29. See, we have to make a decision that we're going to deal with something, and especially the things of our Elohim, that we're going to deal with it decently and in order. Now, we like saying those things because it sounds cute, until we understand that to do something decently and in order, that means we have to go find the instructions. Proverbs 29, and let's start that at verse 1.
He that being often reproved hardens his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy.
Right, because at some point they get tired of being corrected. Yahweh said to correct Israel over and over and over again. Go ahead.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. Whoso loves wisdom rejoice his father. But he that keeps company with harlots spends his substance.
It says he keeps company. See, we got certain things that we hang around and don't understand that it is going to drain us of our finance. See, my elder used to say this thing. He said, every time you leave the house, it's going to cost you some money. I said, what are you talking about? You need to leave the house and pay attention. Everything. You start being presented with this, and the more you stay outside, the more money you spend. I learned if I want to keep my 2 little nickels, I got to go sit down somewhere. Now, when I go out, it's going to be an event. Because I kept clinging my nickels together. And I said, all right, we're going to go here. But I'm putting all my nickels together because I know when I go here, I'm going to have the time of my life. And then I ain't coming out no more for 6 months. But I tell you what, when I go over here, boy, you going to swear I'll be out every weekend. Boy, people see me and be like, boy, you be doing it. I'm like, hell yeah, but it's about to be 12. This horse carrier's about to change. Them rats about to come out. I got to get out of here. And somebody get that glass slipper. Because I got to get the hell out of here. It's going to turn real quick. Okay, go ahead.
The king by judgment establishes the land, but he that receives gifts overthrows it. A man that flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but the righteous does sing and rejoice. The righteous considers the cause of the poor, but the wicked regards not to know it. Scornful men bring a city into a snare, but wise men turn away anger. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. A fool utters all his mind, but a wise man keeps it in till afterwards. If a ruler hearkens to lies, all his servants are wicked. The poor and the deceitful man meet together. Yahweh lightens both their eyes. The king that faithfully judges the poor, his throne shall be established forever. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increase, but the righteous shall see their fall. Correct your son, and he shall give you rest. Yes, he shall give delight unto your soul.
But if we're trying to make everything comfortable for the child, how you going to correct him? See, we tarnish our own doing. We're going to try to correct the child and then try to make him comfortable at the same time. Correction was supposed to be uncomfortable. Go ahead.
You want to continue?
Go ahead, bro.
Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keeps the law, happy is he. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he shall not answer. Seeth you a man that is hasty in his words? there's more hope of a fool than of him. He that delicately brings up his servant from a child shall have him become his son at the length.
He that delicately brings up his servant from a child shall have him become his son at length. What do we think Yahweh's doing with us? Go ahead.
An angry man stirs up strife, and a furious man abounds in transgression. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Whoso is partner with a thief hates his own soul. He hears cursing and bewrayeth it not. The fear of man brings a snare, but whoso puts his trust in Yahweh shall be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment comes from Yahweh.
Right. Ain't no need of kissing up to the ruler. There's a ruler you don't see. The judgment comes from Yahweh, not the people who you're looking at. Go ahead.
An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked.
All right. Understand. We are set to be a people above all people. But do you understand that even when you try to walk in righteousness, that you have made yourself an abomination unto the wicked? Pay attention, Israel. It's about to get a lot more trickier than what it's been. The adversary, the devil, the slayer of my people, is on his way. That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.